to add to it, he is an international speaker. He has attended international seminars, and he has talked about, he has seminars in Frankfurt, Delhi, London, Bucharest, and his special topic is neo-colonialism and branding India. Fine, and he's an academician, and apart from this, that he is a paleogeographist. Right? And then he has many more credits to add on, and he is establishing. He has two aims, and at present he is following that. One is he is establishing a repository of online knowledge by conversion of his 2,500 plus articles and converting it into multimedia chapters with use of virtual reality and documentary stories. See, that will be easy for the coming generation. You can approach that, and it will stay on as a record on the digital medium for others to get into that. And then the second work is establishing an online university based on the theme of skill and knowledge management, which will aim at providing complete career security for students. It's not for India alone, it's for South Asia, Asia, the whole Asia, North Africa, and Southwest Asia. Right? So his aim is very big, and he's an apt person to seek knowledge too. And with this small introduction, I don't know I have done justice or not, because he has so much credits. I have only said a few things to you, and with a big salute to him, I would like to hand over this podium to him, and thereon he will guide you into your career mapping. Thank you.
Hello, Tiruvarur. How are you? Now, it has been a very affectionate moment for me, essentially, because some of your students go on to talk about you, and you find them growing up, and you have grown up as well. They're as mature and as good as anyone. It's always going to be a proud moment. Especially, I thank you. My talk with you has been made possible by Dr. Algan. I'm very thankful to him. All the people sitting on the dais, the principal, the founder of it, and the brain behind it, everyone who have given so much amount of respect to call me, and of course, this is the basic reason that we are in front of you. Because I don't know Tamil, so it has to be in English. And only English, because I don't know even a single word of Tamil as well, except for the fact that I can go to understand the feelings when you go to use those words and use those lovely words. Although I do go on to propagate and promote the world's oldest language and the most rich language in the whole of the world, everywhere. And not only me, there is the Prime Minister also goes on to do so. He also goes on to give instruction, and it is under the instruction of the central government that we are taught to talk about it, because this is the richest culture that the world has ever seen. There is no country, there is no way that anyone can come closer to Tamil Nadu when it comes to culture, when it comes to heritage, when it comes to language, and it had reigned supreme for about 1400 years. It was the richest region in the entire of the world. You belong to this land, and you must go on to feel proud of this land. Well, civil services, when we are going to talk about it, we are going to make it very simple what exactly it is. Think of it. You go on to think that you have to do something, you want someone to administer your region, your country, your territory, or anything. So, what you do? you're going to choose a person. Now that person who is chosen, that is going to be through election. So he finds himself in either Chennai for you, or he finds himself in Delhi. That is, these are the two ways in which you want to choose a person. You ask a person to represent you in the central government or in the state government. And you have given him the mandate to talk about you, to take care of the interest. Not everyone is going to take care of your interest. He has been given. Supposing you have mandated a person, you have given a power to a person, that is, you can go on to think about me, think about us, and I go on to give myself in your hand to do good to me. Then how exactly that he is going to do that? What he will go on to do is that he will go on to have some people through which he is going to be implementing those policies. Let's say someone has promised you that they will go on to give you cows free of cost. Right? Someone has promised you that they are going to be giving you all of you people laptop. Then who will go on to actually implement this thinking? The person who is going to be implementing this thinking is civil services. So he is an executive, and then there is bureaucracy. Bureaucracy's task is to implement it. So let's say if anything goes wrong in implementation, it is not the politician to be blamed, it is the bureaucracy to be blamed. We are wrongly going to blame the poor politicians because they are not implementing it. If something has gone wrong with your COVID and the management of COVID, the person who is to be blamed is the civil servant, not exactly the politician, because they are doing all the good in this case. Now, whether whatever civil servants are going to be doing is good or not, it is in accordance with the law or not, or whatever politicians are doing is good or not, in accordance of law or not, is taken care of by the court. That is the judiciary. Now, these are the three branches that run the whole of the country. But then the power rests in whose hands? People. You can go on to make anyone powerful, you can go on to snatch that power from them as well. It's completely up to you. So, if the government is good, it's because of you. If the government is not good, it's because of you. You deserve the government that you choose. As simple as that. So, civil services is all about implementing the policies of the government. Now, to get into this type of civil services, normally people going to think it is going to be a very, very difficult job. It's not at all. It's not at all a difficult job. Largely because if you go on to take a look at how exactly and who are the people who have qualified, I just want to give you an example. A person who has been a gatekeeper, his daughter qualified. A person who was living in slum, they never had even a rooftop on the top. His daughter also qualified and got third position in the country. Imagine a conductor, a truck driver, a bus driver. Now these are the people who have qualified. And you also imagine there has been certain boys, certain girls who have been working in hotel as a waiter. That means taking orders, what to eat, what not to eat, and they were studying as well. They have also qualified. Now you cannot go to imagine that there have been some people who have been on railway station and their task was to see whether the railway station is going to be cleaned or not. Even they have qualified. You will imagine that there have been people who have been coolie. I mean, people who go on to take your products from one place to another place. Coolie. I hope you know this word, coolie. Right, porter, that we are going to be calling it in English. They have also qualified. That means anyone can qualify for this examination. But why exactly some people qualify and some people don't want to qualify at all? Now there are some traits of it. There are certain reasons behind it as well. To begin with, some people going to think mistakenly that it is this examination is going to be for a genius. It's not. Genius people are mad people. They don't want to appear in examination at all. They don't study all. Mad, passionate, that is what you want to. They have never had any type of a formal education. You're going to pick up hordes of people, hundreds of thousands of people, and the people who have been most successful, people whose products you use, whether you use a mobile phone, whether you're going to use a computer, whether you're going to see a satellite, whether you see anything, so that's the first part. You don't require to be a genius. You just require to be an intelligent person in order to qualify this exam. Intelligence means you are able to do your day-to-day work and you are able to understand what I am saying, understand what has been said before, what has been said by Jiva ma'am, understand how exactly certain things are working. You are able to observe certain things. That is intelligence. Second reason, that is, it doesn't require a great skill also. Now, when we say that it doesn't require a great skill, that means it's only small skill. It's only that you have to be perseverant, you have to be consistent, and as Jiva ma'am talked about it, that is, you have to be, that is, she also talked about in Tamil, and she is from your land itself. She is completely from 100% blue-blooded Tamil, right? And I say it largely because I am really fond of Tamil people, all in all. It's a different matter that they don't speak Tamil, but then if I keep coming to this place, I'll come to know of it as well. God see you. So it's also that it doesn't require a great skill in the sense that is anyone can go to qualify if they follow a proper strategy and a form. Also, students who have qualified in great adversity, that means you don't require a very good condition, apt condition to qualify for this examination. People who have qualified, they have everything going against them, still they have qualified for that. And that anyone who goes on to initiate, anyone who goes on to initiate the preparation, they want to qualify. Institutes doesn't matter at all. And now in this age, it doesn't matter whether you are in Chennai, whether you are in Tiruchirappalli, whether you are going to be Tiruchirappalli, whether you are going to be Tiruvarur, or you are going to be Tiruvarur, any one of these places, it doesn't matter at all. Why? Because the internet has opened up vistas for you that is simply astounding. You must have seen it. That is some 4 years back, the way certain things used to be taught, and now some of these things are being taught. The accessibility to information that you want to be having it right now. So, institutes now don't matter. What matters is how exactly is it that you go to approach this examination. Had institutes mattered, then all of those people who were porters, they wouldn't have qualified. All of those people who were sleeping on railway tracks, or not railway tracks, on platform, they wouldn't have qualified. If that would have mattered, then the people who have been gatekeepers, they wouldn't have qualified also. But then, the students do go on to make it a bit difficult for themselves. It's not a tough examination, but then people go on to make this examination tough for themselves and understand it. How is it so? Now we're going to talk about how is it, what are the type of mistakes that the students are going to make. Thereafter we're going to come on to a strategy as well. That is, at a surrounding level, the mistakes that the students make it, and of course they go to make it difficult for themselves by following what we call it as herd mentality. Herd mentality is If someone is moving in one direction, all of you start moving without thinking that why is it that is happening. It is a herd mentality that you go on to give your vote also to a political party. It is a herd mentality. It's a herd mentality that you go on to emulate some fashions as well. It's a herd mentality that you go on to take certain decisions as well. And a herd mentality is not for leaders at all. Leaders don't follow herd. Leaders always go on to follow their own logic and their own decisions in this case. And that is something that doesn't going to make you qualify. And we are talking about the surrounding level. If your surrounding goes on to be good, you will qualify. If your surrounding is not going to be good, you are not going to qualify. And one of those factors behind it is going to be the people around you. Second is the company that you keep. It matters a lot what is the type of so-called acquaintances you have, friends that you have, with whom you want to interact. If you're going to find a person who is almost always on the mobile and taking a look at entertainment, get away from him or get away from her, because they are never ever going to qualify. Largely because all the people who constantly seek easy life, it is not an exemption for them. In fact, this life is not for them at all. They will be born and they will go on to rule this world, or they will go on to be living this world only as a person who is going to be ruled. They will be like masses. This exemption is qualified by those people who are leaders. And leaders means they don't want to follow her. They don't want to think like everyone. Also, gossip mongers. All the people will be gossip mongers. And gossip mongers means you will go to find three categories of people. There are some people who will talk about people, completely gone case. They are even not talkable at all. There will be people who are going to find that they are going to talk about everyone. Your chief minister, the wife of the chief minister, then his children, the girlfriend of their children, everyone. And then Prime Minister Modi and what he is doing without actually knowing what is happening. Without actually knowing. There are gossip mongers in this case. They will talk about films, they will talk about cinema, they will talk about actors. And maybe that you're going to find that you're going to have people who will going to talk about Mr. Rajnikant in this place, and you will be thinking, well, what exactly is being talked about? Some will say that his age has decreased from 74 to only 34. And you say, yes, it can happen with him. Of course, a lot can happen with him. This is what exactly is talked about. That is gossip. Away from gossip. That's another. And the last of these people are going to be negative minded. They go to find a criticism in everything. And you will go to find these are the type of species. You're going to find that anything that is being done, maybe by the government, maybe by the people, maybe by the chief minister, maybe by the prime minister, you are going to be criticizing it. And criticizing it without actually having known it. Now just think of it. I mean, we are only talking about the logical part of it. Any type of policy is made not by one person. It's not that if I happen to be the prime minister, tomorrow morning I decide, well, this is what we have to do. No, it doesn't go to run in this manner at all. How exactly decided? It is decided by a group of people, 1200, 1300. They will go to take ground information, process it, what can happen, what is not going to happen, what are the implications of it. So it's not one person, it's a whole of people, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 before any decision is going to be taken. But do you want to criticize all of those people who have implemented it or who have made it, or you going to criticize one person, maybe your prime minister or the chief minister of the region? You think yourself, what exactly is it? That you're going to do. If it is that you are preparation level, the problems that you're going to face is going to be in your basics. If your basics are okay, you will going to qualify anything, any examination, you will going to follow any career and anything in the world that you can go to do. Now basics means your education. And education and literacy, not your degree. I repeat, not your degree at all. And education means that you're value loaded. Education doesn't mean that you have information. Education doesn't mean that you have knowledge. Education means that you know the process of coming to or bad. You know what is it, the decision that has been taken that is going to be good or bad. You're also going to know that some of these things that have been done by maybe the government and maybe by anyone, that is going to benefit you or not. Not exactly that you become judgmental and you're going to pass an opinion. You're going to find many people who are going to pass an opinion. This examination, this services is not for opinion propagators at all. It's not for those people who make opinion and who propagate it, because they are the weakest people in general. So the basics means that you have to have a good language. That means you can go to express it. Basics means that is your school level foundation is super solid. Not only solid, very, very, very solid, very good. Basics means that you have a literacy level as well. You can read and write anything. And also basics means that you can come to a process of logic. We are talking about the process of coming to a logic, not only logic. Everyone can want to think that they have their own logic, but that is not going to be so. Now, process of coming to a logic means that you can want to pick up a variety type of examples. I want to pick up a small example in this case. There is a festival in Tamil Nadu which used to be celebrated, which is celebrated, but that has come to become very controversial. I hope you know what I am talking about, Jallikattu, right? Why? Because it is against animals. Agreed? Now, if it is against animals, then yesterday more than 10 million animals have been killed. Is it not against animals also? That's the process of coming to logic. Why is it that it should be one yardstick for one another yardstick for another one? That is also torture. You're going to kill an animal. Now that animal also has a right to live. That animal must go to exist as well. That animal must be having a baby also. And if you're going to find that one animal loving his baby and then you're going to snatch it and then going to kill it, of course, there is something that is logic. Now, we are not saying that is what is right and what is wrong. We are only talking about that. If that is being talked about, then you should be having your own logic of coming to a conclusion, the process of coming to a conclusion. The third part is that you require to have a customized preparation. If you are not having a customized preparation, that is going to be difficult. And the students don't going to be having it. Why? Any student who is from physics, he will study differently. Any student who is from history, they will go to study differently. Anyone who is from economics, they will study differently, because you cannot have a similar type of a preparation and a mindset for a student of physics, a student of economics, a student of English, and a student of history. All four will require a different form of preparation all in all. You cannot go to find a commonality in all of these preparations. That is not done. For example, maybe that there will be some people who will require a coaching. There will be some people who will be independent, and there will be some people who will going to do a lot of things independently as well. That means without going to any type of institution. There will be some people who will going to mesmerize the examiner with their language. There will be some people who will mesmerize with logic. There will be some of them who are going to mesmerize with information. There will be some of them who are going to mesmerize with the presentation. They are going to write it so well. And there will be some of them who are going to do it with diagrams. Now, all the four will qualify, but then their preparation is not going to be of the same type. So, you must go to think that in any manner, anyone is prepared, anyone has prepared, you do not require to imitate that, you do not require to copy that. People who copy, they are most worthless people on this planet. Wrong at any point of of time. It is just you have to control the minds of those people. And why I say that largely because good number of students ultimately go on to follow the so-called toppers. And imagine if there is a topper who has been from IIT. He has been a student of electrical engineering and mathematics, and you are a student of history. He said that I studied in this manner, I studied this way, I studied that way, and you start following it, being a student of history. You will be out. You will be out of the race. This is largely because for every candidate, every person is unique. Every person is exceptional. Every person is extraordinary. Do you know that everyone is born with 5 types of qualities which goes on to be completely extraordinary? It's not going to be found in me. For example, some of these 5 qualities that will be found in this lady sitting on the front, some of these qualities that will be found in the gentleman sitting behind on the last bench. These type of qualities will not be in me at all. Not at all. You have to identify what happens. No one is going to respect it at all. At a strategy level, therefore, the 6th is going to be at the preparation level is going to be strategy. So we have been talking about what exactly inhibits a person from qualifying in the examination. We talked about the company, we talked about the people. The second is we are going to be talking about preparation, and it is in preparation that we say that you don't have to follow the toppers. Of course, you can follow that, but their inspiration is not that they are the one who have to be completely copied. The last part in this case is going to be strategy. Now, strategy means how is it that you are going to strategize your preparation. If you don't want to be having a strategy, there is no way that you can qualify. There's a saying. A saying is that an idiot with a strategy, with a plan, can anytime beat a genius without a plan. So you require to have that part. And of course you have to make it with people who understand you. And that is far more significant, understanding you. So let's say if I happen to have understood you, then you should be making this strategy with me. If I don't understand you and you make a strategy with me, it's completely gone. That means you will find yourself in real trouble yourselves. So a strategy means the first part is going to be how to study, what to study. Now how to study and what to study means you have to have a good choice of books. Now one book that may be helpful to me that may not be helpful to you at all. Largely because maybe that I am fond of a very compact language. You are not fond of compact language. You require a simple language. Maybe that you require a very interesting presentation. So there will be 3 books, one for you, another for another one, the third for me. Now all the books by and large carry similar amount of information, similar type of information. All the books go on to carry that part. So it's not that any book that goes on to talk about, let's say, why is it that this place is going to be so windy? It's one of the windiest places in the whole of the country. Why is it so? The reasons will be very simple. This is the time of the monsoons and it goes on to get affected by both of these winds. One of them coming from the Arabian Sea, another coming from the Bay of Bengal, which enters into this region through Nagapattinam and then it goes on to go forward. That is one. In all of those places which has been covered by, let's say, something like Eastern Ghats, they will not be having such type of a windy location at all. That is going to be one reason. So, one book will go on to explain it, another book will also explain it, the third book will also go on to explain similar thing. The powers of the president, all the books will go on to explain it in the same manner. The language of one of the book will go on to suit you, another book will not suit you in this case at all. So, you always have to pick up those type of books that are going to be significant because it has to be completely customized. Now, this is what exactly that you have to prevent following at what you call as preparation level. You have to have your own choice of teachers. What type of teachers? What type of books? What type of institutes? Now, having said that, we come to what are the traits that you require to qualify for this examination. Trait means a characteristic that you should go to have it for the purpose of qualifying for this examination. the most important trait, I mean, you can go to think of it, the most important trait for anyone is going to be personality. A person who doesn't going to be having a personality will never ever qualify for this examination at all. And personality means we are going to be talking about attitude. Personality means that we are going to be talking about whether the person is very subjective. Subjective, that means that he will going to have no opinion about everything or not. Or objective. Objective means he will be able to classify several aspects differently. That is going to be one of those type of personalities. Second is it that the person has an ego, or is it that the person has self-esteem? Now both of them are different. Ego means you always go on to look the other person down. That is ego. Self-esteem, that means you always keep on competing with yourself and you keep on making yourself better, better and better. A person with ego is a negative-minded person. A person with ego can go to harm you at any point of time. A person with ego are going to be real dangerous people. But a person with a self-esteem is going to be an asset for you. That's one part of personality. The third part of personality is going to be associated with whether you're going to feel superior or whether you're going to feel inferior. Now, if you're arrogant, if you're feeling superior every time, then you stop learning. And why is it that you stop learning? Because arrogant people will going to have an opinion before anything completely on their own. They will never come to know about the verification of the facts. And these are the people you can go to make them learn at all. Inferior people are always saying, with this we can't go to do this one, we can't go to do this this job as well, this task as well. Now they will go on to be on the extreme side of it. So then personality means you understand your limitation. The strongest people in the whole of the world are those people who understand their strength and who understand their limitation. Every person has a limitation, every person has a strength in this case. And they are the one who are going to rise. They will be the one who will go on to know what books to study, what books not to study. The second part is language. It is through language that I may be able to reach you. It is through your language that you will be able to write certain things that you have conceptualized. And when we say that you can go to conceptualize anything, and if you don't have a language, then forget about this examination at all. You cannot go to qualify anywhere. You cannot go to do any type of a job also. You cannot go to make your career also. Language is the prerequisite. Supposing you have qualified even for civil services, then even then you will not go to progress. You will not go to rise at all because you don't have a language. And in the absence of a language, what will happen is you will go to always express something wrong. Always. And you will keep on taking problems for you and then keep on. You know a fact, that is information. And we know how exactly to process that information, that is knowledge. And when you use that knowledge for the purpose of decision making, that is wisdom. So three words are different. Everyone, most of you are going to be very, very well informed, and I'm told, and I also know that a good number of youngsters like you are very, very good in collecting information and accumulating it as well. But then you may not be in a position to process that information. I give you one example. Why is it that this place is going to be so windy? Now, how is it that you can go to use this information? Take another example. Any windy place, is it going to be good for aviation? That means for planes. Answer is no. You come to this place, you come by flight, come by air to this place, and you're going to find that your plane will be shaking. It may go on to land once, maybe it may go to land first time. It may not go to land in the first instance at all. It may have to overshoot the runway. It may have to take a lift also, and so on. That is going to be a problem. And you know it better. You know it better. That is, this is one of these places which is so windy that some people in ancient times called this season as outing. That means it has that is a Tamil word. That's a Tamil word, and that means it has the capacity to move rocks also. Right? This was information that was shared to me by Professor Allegan. He said that this is going to be the case. But then I'm able to process that information. Now, if it is that you have to make a film, and you have to show that the heroine is very glamorous, the hero is very glamorous, and they have big hair, good smooth silky hair, and the hair is waving in their hair. Now, this is the place. It is not going to be a place like that of Delhi. It is not going to be a place like that of Gujarat. It is going to be this place here, which is going to be windy. It's a windy location. That's the processing of the information. If it is that, I go on to give you one information that is see, bureaucracy finds it difficult to implement the policies of the government. That's an information, right? Bureaucracy is one information. We take it a step ahead that the bureaucracy finds it difficult to process this information. Where exactly is it that you use it? You go on to say, now, bureaucracy records needs a reform. That becomes knowledge. And that is what exactly that we are talking about, processing of it. How is it that you are going to be reforming the bureaucracy? Is it going to be a matter of wisdom? That is, wisdom is all about it, that is reflected in your day-to-day taking decisions. You have tingle, all of these are water harvesting techniques. That's again in Tamil, right? And that is water harvesting techniques. How is it that you can go to harvest water in these type of places? That's local wisdom. Local wisdom is when you go on to make your houses not with concrete, with something else. And do you know that Tamil people used to be making houses with materials that the whole of the world now acknowledges that is the best way to build a house. And you know, this concrete, we have copied it. We have imitated it from Britain. And that is fatal. This is not even strong also. And that is not even ecologically compatible. That is not even healthy. But then that was the type of information. Otherwise, how is it possible that such big temples have been made in Tamil Nadu? You can imagine that. And this type of temple, it can't be made right now with concrete at all. It's simply impossible that you can go on to build such type of temples with concrete. And if you don't want to appreciate that part, that means something is wrong. Something is terribly wrong in this case. That is what is called as knowledge. The fourth is going to be learning ability. Now, how is it that anyone goes to learn? Now, people are going to learn from a variety of sources, in a variety of ways. Some people are going to learn by reading a book, but that is one way. Right now, if you are learning by listening to it. You can learn by watching certain things as well. You can learn by interacting with people. You can learn by traveling. You can learn by having a pet in your house, like a doggy in your house. You can learn while you are passing through a difficult situation. You can learn while you are going to be observant. Observant, that means by taking a look at any person, you are going to know that this is the type of a person he or she is. That is observational learning. If you don't have this observational learning, what will happen is your task will going to become very, very difficult. And I just let you know, most of the girls are generally going to learn through observation, through intuition. In boys, it's not my fault, it's Almighty's fault that way. Boys are not endowed with so much amount of an observation. Girls and boys are going to be very different. If you're going to watch that is again going to be a girls and boys both going to be having a brain, but you know the brain of both are differently. Boys will going to be having there are two hemispheres of the brain, and both of them are going to be separate, segment-wise. So boys will be a friend with someone. Boys will go to say, this is my job, this is my love, this is my future, this is my career. Girls don't want to think in this manner. In boys, the hemisphere, both of these hemispheres, left and right, they are not connected, but in girls they are heavily connected. There is intense amount of wiring between them. So, That means that if a girl has observed some of these things when she was 6 years old, she will go to apply this information even now as well, and she is capable of doing so. So if a girl goes on to say that, see, this person is not good, don't argue, just believe that. Because boys are not capable of doing it so. Not at all capable. You're going to find that girls are multitaskers, and that's the reason that we're going to find that all of the ancient goddesses in Sanatan, that is Hinduism, have been given 12 hands. That means at one point of time, a girl is capable of doing at least 4 or 5 things. Boys are not capable of. Let's accept this fact. And I don't think that I am criticizing boys. I mean, this is how God has made you. It has made me as well in this manner. And you're going to find that your mother, maybe she is cooking something, then you are a small brother or a sister is going to be with your mother. So he is cooking something, she is watching a television as well, and she is also doing something else, talking as well. And then your brother is there, the moment he goes to do something, she goes to slap him as well. Right? So 4 things at a simple time. That is again observation. Of course, girls are going to be much more intelligent than boys. And don't want to say it is my job, and I have made Saraswati, Durga, as well as Kali. All of these are goddesses, Lakshmi as well. They are a very, very good manager. And it's not your fault. Of course, boys have a different characteristic. See, all of these things are based on observation. It's not something that is going to be based on your learning. Of course, when I have said that, when I have shared that, then that means that this is going to you. How is it that you can go to use it? If you have to take a decision, for example, and you are a bit confused, ask your sister, ask your friend, ask your girlfriend, ask your mother, and they will be in a much better position to guide you. They will not going to use any logic. But that is it. Now this is what is called as observational learning. Girls going to learn through intuition, boys learn through logic. So 2 of them will go to study, and not both of them are going to be studying in the same manner. So your learning ability means that you are able to unlearn certain things as well. Unlearn means that means whatever that you know, you have to shed those things as well. And for civil services, it goes to become very, very important that you shed out some of those things that you have known. Possible largely because this is not going to be useful right now at all. Learning is going to be as significant in this world as unlearning. That means your ability not to learn and your ability to forget some of those things that you happen to know. And this is the reason that you're going to find in civil services a good number of students, they may be having physics, but what is the subject that they're going to take? They take something like history, they take economics, they take geography. I am myself from physics, and my specialization is in earth sciences. It's completely different because I have learned. And right now my research is going to be on what exactly has been the wrongs in history of India, and there have been terribly so many things that have gone wrong, and how exactly to correct it. This is a project on which I am working. So that is on history. And my way of study goes on to be interaction with the people. I don't want to study too much normally what people can go to think of. So this is a learning ability. The 6th in this case is hard work. Hard work means, of course, that means you don't have to work for something like 16 hours a day, keep on studying. I'm going to become a martyr. Studying only. Now this is something that will not going to happen. Anyone who is studying, anyone who is working hard, even a rickshaw puller goes to work hard, even a bus driver goes to work hard, you are not want to qualify for civil services to work hard, and by working harder, you are to qualify for the civil services examination by working smart. If you are not to make it smart, shame on you. So, how is it that you can go to make it? Of course, apply your mind, apply your thinking, apply whatever that you can go to do. Hard work. And if the hard work is that is you're going to do hard work, in the sense that is you keep on. That means whenever the task is required, whenever the projection has to be met, let's say it's like that is today you have to study this much. If you don't study that, it will go to spill to tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to spill to day after. day after will go to school to some other time, and so on and so forth. That means you will never ever qualify. You will keep on thinking that you are going to do tomorrow, and tomorrow will never come at all. That is the significance of hard work. And this hard work it's not like that you one day you're going to study 16 hours and you say that I will study for 16 hours. Next 2 days you're going to kick a goal. You're going to make it for a 6. You keep on wandering on the streets of Nagapatnam, Tiruchirappalli, and all those type of places. All those cricketers are going to be chosen who are going to be consistent, and that is the reason that the best batsman anywhere that India has produced of late in these recent times is not exactly Sachin Tendulkar, it is Rahul Dravid. He is considered to be a much better batsman if you know something about cricket at all. That's going to be hard work, consistent work in this case, and then you require to have an analytical mind. Analytical mind, that means able to analyze something. Now, take an example. You find that the country is passing through a tough situation, COVID and all that, right? And you also find that there are some of these countries that are getting prosperous. There is one country that is getting prosperous at this point of time. Can you name that country? Can you name that country? China. While India is reeling under a problem, and while United States is also reeling under a problem, so why is it not that the Chinese are facing so much amount of problem? Because now this is how exactly that you can go to analyze it and see how is it that this situation created. This situation was created when two people was created. See, after any country goes on to get affected by this virus, I will go to occupy that territory. I will go to control that country. I will go to subjugate that country. I will demolish that country. These two people who were businessmen, they said that we are not going to be doing anything. We are going to earn money by making vaccines. Right? It's simple. And that is what they are doing. And in India, these companies who were trying to insert their vaccines that was resisted by India, that was resisted by the Prime Minister, and you know what they did? They inserted this infection in different people by making certain type of notes, by making certain type of nuclei. So all this spread that you're going to say it's not man-made, it has been actually created, and created by a country that has a nefarious design. Now that is analysis. If you are able to understand it, you will want to understand it better. Maybe that you're going to blame your government and you can go to blame anyone for that purpose, but then that is a design. Now that comes only through your analytical mind. Unless you are able to analyze it, there is no way that you can go to take it forward as well. In this case, also analysis, had it been a class in some place like, let's say, Delhi, northern part of the country, not even a single girl would have come in something like a salwar kurta in this place. All of them would have been in jeans and by last t-shirt, all of them. Now that means you still going to value your culture. You still are rooted into this space. And anyone who goes on to value their culture, they are always going to be far more better than anyone who is not able to do it so. That shows that you have a personality, because you have not been swayed by the same advertisement that people in North India, East India or any of these places can go on to listen to. Right? You have also seen the same thing, but you have maintained your stronger. That shows that you have a strong personality. Of course, you require a guidance in this case. So that is analytical mind. That is how exactly that you are going to analyze it, observant. When you are observant and when you are analytical, that means you don't require to study very, very hard. How? And how exactly that you can go to do that? That means you can study smarter. You can study in you can study very less and still can go on to rule the whole of the world. Why? Because you are able to learn, you are able to gain much more than what the normal people can go to do in this case. And lastly, you have to be systematic. Systematic, that means it's like all of you are wearing a dress that is systematic. Unsystematic dress will be that I go on to wear a kurta and then over above I go on to wear my vest, wear my banyan or so on. That is it's like you wear a coat and then over it you go to have a shirt. That is unorganized. I mean, you imagine how is it that is going to look like. So there is a systematic way in which certain things happen to be taking place and that in which it should be going ahead as well. Now, these are the personality traits that we have talked about. Now, if you have all of these traits, you are going to be moving systematically in order to prepare for this examination. And what exactly that you have to prepare for this examination? You have to prepare at 3 levels. Prelims level, which is objective type test. You have to tick mark, only tick mark. Mains examination, that is going to be a subjective type test. You have to write. And the interview where you have to speak. So there are going to be 3 different type of tests. And when you have passed all the 3 different type of tests, it is only then that you are going to be picked up for the civil services. You have to know how to write an essay. That is going to be one. You have to know what exactly is happening in the whole of the world and why is it happening here. I just going to give you some examples associated with it. Now, that is called a general topic. The essay can go on to be, for example, we have picked up so many abstract examples that can be topic of essay, and the topic of essay can go on to be that is stronger people have a personality. We can topic can go to be having an essay, and maybe there can be a simple topic that can be for essay. South India is a much more developed in comparison to North India, and let me tell you that South India is at least 10 years ahead of North India in terms of its development, in terms of the outlook of the people, in terms of culture, in terms of a lot of things. Maybe I will be able to draw a better conclusion if I happen to interact with a lot of people that way. That can go on to be another topic of an essay. The third topic of essay can go on to be associated with that is India will be able to counter China only through oceans, not on the land. That means you must have known, and this is the seat of it. This was the place where the Chola, Pandya and the Chera kingdom used to be ruling the whole of the world. And the extent of this kingdom used to be, I hope you know that is up till Indonesia. Indonesia was part of India at that point of time. The biggest naval power, there have been 2 naval powers who have been the most strong naval powers in the whole of the world. Can you think you can name any? It was not British, it was not Dutch, it was either Chola, that's one, and the second has been Raja Martandavarma from Kerala. He was single-handedly responsible for destroying the Dutch completely. But then you don't study these things in your books largely because your books have been doctored so that you don't go to take pride from your culture, from your heritage. And of course, this is something that is going to be worked upon now, that is being changed also by the central government, because all the history that you study, and you will be surprised to find that all the history that you study is completely wrong, because the right history never reached you at all. Now, something of this sort that you must go to know. So essay can be such type of a topic. That means you can go to control the oceans in order to rule the whole of the world. That is going to be another part. So essay is going to be, the topics are going to be asked in essay that are going to be from any topic, abstract. It can be like true leaders are those who don't to take initiative. That can be a topic of essay. Then there can be third topic. The second topic of essay is that India can never be a superpower, or India can be a superpower. That is going to be the second type of topic. And in essay, how is it that you write it? How is it that you want to organize your thought? How is it that you can go to systematize is going to be asked. That's one. Then you have general studies. And general studies is not general knowledge. It's not generalized, it's not general information. General studies here. General studies means in anything and you have to study it here. You have to study Indian history, you have to study Indian culture, you have to study the society as well, the social problems that India is facing. You have to study world geography, you have to study Indian geography, you have to study Indian polity. How is it that the polity functions, the parliament functions, the government functions? How is it that the whole of the country is going to be ruled? You have to study international relations as well. International relations means, take an example. Sometime back, the foreign minister is Jaishankar. He is from your territory only, right? And for your information, his father was K. Subramaniam. He had two called Georgia. You may have known the country, Georgia. It was part of Soviet Union some time back. Now, for information means it's a visit. Analysis means that we say going deep into means international relations means that is it that India is trying to develop a relationship with Georgia? Answer is no, not exactly. But India is going to show to Soviet Union and Russia that see, if you're going to support Pakistan, then we're going to support Georgia. It's like a balance. That is check and balance. Because Georgia is what Pakistan is to India. Georgian people are enemies to that of Soviet Union. That is the reason. That is international relationship. Now, why is it that the Indian Ocean is so significant and any control over Indian Ocean is going to be giving you control over the whole of the world? That is also part of international relations. So this is first two paper. The first paper was history. Of course, in the first paper is going to be world geography. World geography means what is happening where and why is it happening. Indian geography is something like why is it that the monsoons originate? That is Indian geography. What is the impact of the monsoons on the people? That is Indian geography. World geography can go to mean why is it that Dubai is rising so fast? That is going to be world geography. What is an aviation hub and things like that. Then the second paper is Indian polity. How is it governed? What are the powers of the president? How is it that the president goes on to control the region? How is it that the prime minister goes to behave? How is it that it should go to do it? Is it that prime minister is the political post or is it an executive post? Some of these things are Indian polity and then international relations. The third paper is going to be having Indian economy, world economy, Indian and world economy. And at the same time, it also goes on to be having a science and technology, environment and disaster management. Science and technology, environment and disaster management. That means, is it that this place we are talking about, that means in the southern part of the country, was as good as some time back? Now, I'm coming to this territory after some amount of time, and I see that it's very, very dirty. It's very, very, very dirty. I have lived in this territory and I know how clean it used to be. It used to be a heaven of sorts. Now this heaven is no more. So of course there is going to be one component associated with it, that is the degradation of the environment that has taken place here. That is environment. Disaster management means, for example, you must have experienced cyclones, tropical cyclones, and the wind speed can go to be 150 kilometers, 200 kilometers per hour. And you know that is Nangapatnam nearby is one of those areas which had borne the brunt of these type of tropical cyclones which move on the land at a speed of 240, 220, we were 280 kilometers per hour as well. There have been some of these cyclones that hit it, like Tuate, that took place just some time back. Right? These have been on the western coast. Now, western coast has started experiencing more and more tropical cyclones, and that is a cause of worry for us now. Anyway, that goes on to be disaster management. So, what should you be doing for the purpose of trying to help people who do not want to get affected by such type of disaster? Something that is production productivity. That can be a topic in Indian economy. Why is it that in these areas, in the whole of this region, it is going to be an automobile hub? And you know this place, you are going to find in Tamil Nadu, you have automobile hub and automobile centers like Sriperumbudur is going to be there. There is one part, Hosur is there, Hoskote is going to be part of it, including some of these portions of Karnataka as well. At the same time, then Valluvar is going to be another part of it. Chennai is there, Salem is going to be there. All of these are going to be automobile hubs. They're going to produce so many vehicles in this season. Why is it so? And what will be the future of the automobile? Is it that we are going to introduce a solar car, and what will be the impact of the solar cars as well? That is the third paper. The fourth paper is going to be about ethics and integrity. Ethics and integrity. That means that it is to check whether you are ethical or not. And you may go to think that you have studied it, but this is one paper where whatever that you're going to feel will going to come out. You cannot go to hide yourself. This train is going on its track. And there are some people who have organized protests. So what's the country, and it is a daily event in the northern part of the country. If you are not feeling good, you will go to stop a train. And not only that, you are going to find that the train drivers also break the law. If the train drivers go on to feel like going to a washroom, they are going to stop their train. Imagine and other aspects going to take place. Of course, not during Prime Minister Modi, but before that, anything wrong that you can go to think of happening, that was happening there. But it's not simply possible in the reign of either Prime Minister Modi or the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi also, because they are very, very strict in that region. I don't know how is it that the Chief Minister to go on to be in this place. But then that has been a part of it. So is it ethical? Is it going to be ethical that a driver stops the train for its own purpose? That is one question. Maybe you can go to extend it. That is, the train has been stopped, and now there is a district magistrate who has been asked that is you are going to take care of it. You are going to be a part of the district magistrate. So what the district magistrate should go to do is that the crowds going to disperse, and after having dispersed, they will allow the train to pass through. What should he do? Now, some of you will go to say that he must go to get it lathi charged. He should go to fire. None of them. It is all about motivation. It is all about befooling the leader of that place. It is all about how is it that some of these things can be actually managed. And that is the way that some of these things are actually taken care of, and that is managed as well. That is ethics. It's like ethics will go to ask you, what is the difference between liking someone and loving someone? Do you know the difference? You better know that. Ethics will go to ask you, what is the basic difference between having an acquaintance, having a friend, falling into love with someone, respecting someone? 4 different components. Ethics will ask you what is the difference between a coach, a trainer, a teacher, and a mentor. That is ethics, and all of them are different. A coach is someone who will go on to only guide you. A trainer is something that will go to make you practice, 1 practice, 2nd practice, 3rd practice. A teacher is something that will go on to pick up a chapter and explain to you so that you can go to understand it. A mentor is someone who will go to, that is mentor. Now this is part of ethics. So there are 4 papers in your general studies. So essay, 4 papers. And then you are going to be having a subject that is called as optional. Optional means you can go to pick up any subject. You can go to study economics. That's your subject, that is your choice. These are compulsory papers. So you have appeared in the previous examination, and it was objective type questions in prelims examination. Then you come to mains examination, in the examination, you qualify the mains examination as well. And then you want to come to interview. Interview is all about how you speak. How exactly is it that you come to deal with the person who is very knowledgeable in front of you? How is it that you carry yourself? What is your body language? How good is your language? And it is not a test of knowledge. If you have a personality and if you can go to manage a lot of things, then interview is yours. People mistakenly think that for interview they have to prepare a lot, they have to study a lot. No, it is a test of your not. And of course, you are going to get such a bumper marks that you are ultimately going to qualify. So these are the three stages through which you go to pass. Now, in order to appear for this examination, you have three options. How is it that you can go to pick it up? The first option is going to be that is you can go to self-study. Self-study. That means being here, and you can go to pick up books here, you can go to pick up anything, and then you can keep on watching YouTube, anything, and then you can go to study. That's one. Second is you can go to join some institute. That's the second approach. Of course, institutes can go to make your task easier. And why is it that they want to make your task easier? They make it easier because they will want to prepare material for you, they will want to teach you, they will want to guide you, they will want to do flaws, so it becomes easy. But not for everyone. For some of them it becomes difficult job also. And why? How is it that it can go to become a difficult job? Can you think of it? It will go to become a difficult job because it's like all the institutes going to teach you in the same manner. And if you're not attuned to that, then you will be devastated. It's like I'm a vegetarian and someone goes to give me a non-vegetarian food. It's like I'm an Indian and someone asks me to lead a Western style or Western lifestyle. I will not be able to adapt itself. So this is what happens sometimes in coaching institutes also. There is a third way as well. Third is going to be a group of friends, going to make your friends not. There is someone that you know. And how is it that they are different from friend? A friend is someone who understands you. Acquaintances don't understand you at all. So, let's say you have a group of friends, not acquaintances. And then you start preparing it. So they will going to point out flaws in you, they will going to correct you, they will going to study, they will going to motivate you, and so on, so forth. That is how exactly it will go to. These are the three ways. Now, if you are not joining any institute, then you have to pick up books yourself. That decision has to be yours. And mind it, if you are in a coaching institute, the coaching institute will never ever refer good books to you. Why? Because they use it themselves to teach you. If they start referring good books to you, then of course, why is it that we are going to go to coaching institute? And all the good books they will go to criticize only. They will not want to refer to it at all. That's because coaching institute after all is a commercial organization. Only few institutes can go on to help you guide it in the true manner. In actually the manner in which you are to be guided by. Okay. That goes into another component associated with it. So, you have three ways in which you can go to do that. And after, let's say, you are preparing for this examination, preparing in such a manner, is what we are going to be calling is prarabdha. Prarabdha means that is your life. That is going to be something like a whatever that you have been getting the fruits of this so-called karma. That is prarabdha. Second is purusharth. Purusharth is going to be all about how much amount of an effort that you can go to make. How much amount of hard work you keep on doing work, hard diligently and so on and so forth. That is purusharth. The third is kal. Kal is time. That is, if you have a bad time, no matter what is the condition good to you, you will always go to be proper. Just imagine one part. We are talking about there is we talk about airlines. Now you know the airlines business have completely got devastated because of COVID, because no one wants to travel by air travel. It is only recently that this air travel has started. What was their fault? Nothing. It was time. To call it Ashish. Ashish is blessing. It's blessing. If someone goes to bless you, no matter what, it reaches you, and forget about logic, forget about anything, you will qualify for the examination. And you have to keep on counting on the blessings in order to qualify for it. There is no way that you can go to control your time. It can be bad time or good time. So this examination, as you said, is simple enough. It's not going to be too difficult. It is going to be simple enough in this case. And when we say that it's going to be a simple examination, we're basically going to mean that it's just goes on to be requiring to take care of your personality and the basics. A lot of things can go on to change with you. That is what exactly that we're trying to tell you in short. In short, what all that you can go to think of and how is it that you can go ahead with it. But then let's say we have talked about it, we'll always go to think that you are going to be having some questions, you will ask a question, and it is these questions that will going to make you what you are going to be. Right? If you don't ask a question, then of course you will be having, and if you don't have a question, that is bad. You must go to have a question, you must go to have a query, you must be having some type of problems, some issues which you are able to understand or not able to understand, and that is going to be important for you. Right? Some of these questions are going to be on your behalf, but then if you are not asking a question, I want to think that the students in Tirusirapalli, in Tiruvarur are not going to be smart. Do you want me to carry that opinion? Yes or no? Do you want to carry the opinion? No. You don't speak at all. What? Someone has prevented you not to speak. So, what are the questions you have? Each you have. Yes, please go ahead. What should be?
First step for preparation, sir.
Sorry? First step of your preparation can be? First step of your preparation has to be your personality. If you don't have a personality, if you don't go to be proper with your personality, personality means that you must be able to balance out your perspective. Now what this means, take an example. Can we take some examples? And what is the most common criticism that you go on to do to the people? Like your prime minister. I will have to give an example. So you will not say anything at all. Then why did you not talk to me? It's your question, so you pick up an example. Any opinion. We'll say that is how to balance it out. You have any opinion, all of you, any opinion.
Partially good, sir.
Okay? Partially bad. Okay, why it is bad? You must be having a reason why it is bad. Agreed, you are talking about both of them, it is good and bad, that is balance. But then you must be having a reason behind it, why it is good and why it is bad. What is good about media? Again, quality. Professor, I'll get you this time.
Yes, see, only when you come out with your queries, the question gives you proper answers, right? If you have any queries, நீங்க உங்க கேள்வியை கேட்டாதான் ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிளோட நீங்க உங்க ஒப்பீனியன் சொல்லும் போது தான் சார் உங்களுக்கு என்ன ஆன்சர் கொடுக்க முடியும்னு பண்ணுங்க.
I'll explain.
Okay. Explain it.
Media, mass media, in two ways we can interpret. The positivity, it always shows something like that. It intellects people. It gives the surrounding uses. Like that, in a way, it is good. Negativity, for example, the COVID situation. They are propagating the negative aspects of the COVID. We are suffering. There are deaths rates. In a way, they construct the negativity among people. In that way, we have bad intuitions regarding mass media. I have two questions regarding IAS examination. The first one is, there is a myth among the aspirants, especially South Indian aspirants, that we are going to immigrate to Delhi in order to pursue our IAS. If you go to Delhi means it's a partial success. As ma'am also mentioned that she has went to Delhi to pursue her desire as IAS. So it is necessary to go to Delhi to pursue IAS.
Okay, let me answer that part. It's not essential that you have to go to Delhi for that purpose. Largely because in these times, in the present time, things have changed to such an extent that without going to Delhi, you can go to have all the information, everything. This is largely because of the explosion that is taking place in web technology, in the internet. So you can go to find books on internet, you can go to find lessons on internet. And the best part about certain things that are going to be online is that you can study it once, rewind it, again it second time, rewind it again the third time, again rewind it the fourth time, as long as you become sick of taking a look at the lesson. So you keep on doing it so. So that is the reason number one. Secondly, that information is now not the prerogative of only few people and in few hands. That is, this information is going to be democratized right now. It is available throughout the whole of the world to different type of people. So it is available to you also. If one mobile with one laptop in your hand, you are having access to the information that even a person in North America, United States, goes to be having. So both of you are the same. The third is, going to Delhi means that is, of course, whenever you want to do something radical, something new, you always going to change your location. And going to Delhi means you have to change your location. That is what it means. And changing the location means that is your entrepreneur. You have certain amount of courage to go there. So you shouldn't go to resist it also, although that is not the nicest of the place. I am from that place and I know that people are not good, climate is not good, it's a desert. It's too hot during the summer season, too hot, 45 degrees centigrade temperature, and in the winters it goes to dip to 1 degree centigrade as well. And 3 months are not livable in the winters, 3 months are not livable in the summer also. It's not the nicest place. But then, because a place is not going to be nice, and also the people are also not nice, right? People are much more nicer here, except that they don't talk. Except they don't talk. Is it so? Okay? So everything is nice about it. So that is going to be another part. You don't have to go to Delhi in order to pursue your preparation, because anything that you want to study now is going to be available online. It's as easy as that.
Thank you, sir. Another question is regarding my optional subjects. I was an English literature student in my PG, and I analyzed many things, many results, and many toppers. They didn't choose English literature as their optional, and the result is also very less. They are not shine in English literature. Actually, I want to take English literature as my optional subject, but I need more marks too. So I'm in an oscillation whether I can take it or not. And apart from, if I eliminate English literature, I'm good in Tamil literature. And the people are scoring good in Tamil literature. I'm in the oscillation that whether I'm going to take English literature or Tamil literature. Can you help me, sir?
Yes, that's right. See, you must want to pick up an optional only on one basis, and that is interest. If you're interested, that's option is for you. Now, all these people who haven't scored good in English literature or maybe Tamil literature or anywhere, that is their problem, not your problem. The first and the most important prerequisite is going to be that you should be interested in the subject that you are choosing. Well, having talked about it, we're always going to say that you shouldn't go to picking up literature at all, generally. Why? Because when you go to pick up some subjects like, let's say, economics, geography, history, in polity or political science and international relations, then you're also going to prepare one segment of general studies, right? That's another advantage. That's an advantage that you can go to have. That's one. Second is, there is people who go to check your English papers. They are very fastidious. Fastidious, that means they are very particular about most of the things. And being in literature, that means it goes on to leave enough amount of a scope for subjectivity also. Because it is literature does go on to carry subjectivity. There are only 2 or 3 of these literatures where the people want to qualify very large amount. One of them is going to be Persian. And that is going to be some amount of a subjective marking, and we assume that is going to be taking place. There is some degree of an uproar associated with it in this case. There is Pali Buddhist studies, right? So keep 2 of these languages from where the people want to qualify. Largely because there must be certain degree of a demerit associated with it. But then UPC examining is maybe today or tomorrow. They are going to take care of it. If you feel confident, must become the subject of your competence. That's one. But at the same time, this is what is called the balance of perception. You must also see whether it is helping you in your general studies or not, whether it is helping you in your essay or not. The answer is no, it doesn't help. So is it worth taking? That's the second part. Third is, of course some people haven't got marks, so there must be some reason. And the reason is that you should learn from their mistakes also. So there must be some reason, and that is something that you need to consider. Right? These are the 3 aspects.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have a question. Among us, actually South Indian people have a common idea that the bureaucrats are the only people who blamed if a wrong policy come among people.
Bureaucrats are the only people who?
Blamed by the people. You
Blamed
also
by the
said
people.
that they are influenced by the politicians.
No.
Is it right or wrong, sir?
No, it's not right. There is one thing that is right, there is another thing that is wrong. Right? I'm going to give you a complete perspective of it. See, if you don't want to do anything, can someone force you to do it? Yes or no? Yes. No. That means you don't have a personality.
So
Right?
the influences, yeah.
Forget about that. But I'm talking to you as a person. If you don't want to marry a boy, right? Can someone force to marry you? Never. So in marriage you have a choice, right? In other things you don't have a choice, and that's not good.
I have a choice, sir, but if I take a job, it's not possible, I think.
No, I'm not talking about, I'm only talking an analogy. I'm taking an analogy. I'm taking an example. I'm not talking about you, right? I'm only taking an example. I don't know how is it that I can go to know whether you're going to getting married or not, or you're going to live your life without marriage, right? That is going to crop up another question, whether you should go to marry or not. Ask me, you should never ever go to marry, because it's the most dangerous thing in the world to do. Right? Dangerous. Okay. So coming to that. There is for everything the bureaucracy is to be blamed. For a majority of the things, bureaucracy is to be blamed. Right? Because once they go to assume a position of power, once they are in the job, they take it for granted because they know that they can't be removed easily from the job. That is reason number one. Politicians are less to be blamed, and the civil services are much more to be blamed. That is correct. Secondly, politician cannot go to force you to do anything wrong. He will say, see, go to take a bribe. You take a bribe. Yes or no? The politician is going to say, see, this is the well, going to jump into it. Will you jump? But then there are some bureaucrats who will going to jump. They will go to say, sir, how much amount of money will I going to get? They say, let's see, I am going to give you 3 crore rupees and I am going to slap you. Right? Will you like it? Some of the bureaucrats will say, yes sir, please slap. Your slap is beautiful. Right? There will be some of them will going to say, to hell with you, I am not going to be with you, you can't do anything, and they will take it forward. So no one can go on to force you to do anything at all. There is absolutely no compulsion. Absolutely no compulsion. If anyone says that they have been forced by their political masters, they are telling a lie. L-I-E, lie. It's simply not possible. It's like asking someone, I go to ask you someone, let's say I am a politician and you are a bureaucrat. I say, now jump onto this hand, hold it, and then going to go round and round. Will you do that? Then of course no one can go to force you. And no one forces anyone at all. Yes. Why is it they're going to do something wrong? Because they have an interest. Interest in earning money. Interest in earning a bribe. Interest in doing something which you are not able to have your character ransom to the politician. Why is it that you should go to do that? Got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yes? Sorry?
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
I didn't get that.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Super good afternoon.
Sir, sorry, sir, I did not listen at the time you speak about the interview process, sir, because of this incident, sir. So I have one question.
Keep it close so that I can assign it easily.
Okay, sir.
You have a good voice.
Sir, okay, sir. Is any special strategies for CSC's interview process, like the day-to-day preparation, main and day?
Yes, there is.
Sir, please tell something.
But then, see, a lot of things cannot be discussed in just for 5 minutes of a time. It's like you are asking me to drive a car. I say, okay, jump into the car, hold the steering, then have your hand on the gear, another one on the brake and this accelerator and driving. Is it simple? No? So, a strategy means that is what I need to know your background, I need to know what your interests, I need to know how good you are in some of these things. I need to know thousands of things before I can go on to make a strategy. But then there is a strategy. This strategy will be different for you. This will be different for her. It will be different for her. It will be different for everyone. But then there is a different design, there is a different plan. Some people study only for 2 hours every day. Still they qualify. Some people study 4 hours. They qualify. Some people study for 8 hours. They don't qualify. And some people who want to study for 12 hours, they never qualify. Right? So is it hard work? Yes. But then there are some people who want to study for 12 hours, 14 hours, they qualify also. Right? So there is no definite fixed rule to this. Right? It's not also that you have to study in the morning, you have to have a daytime and you have to study GSM, then you have to study your optional, then you have to study your interview, and then in the night you have to study newspapers. There's no fixed routine also in this case. Everyone will have a different type of a routine. Everyone will have a different type of a strategy. But then whatever strategy that you're going to make, maybe you're going to make it with me, you're going to make it with Professor Allegan, maybe with this institute, whatever it is, you must stick onto it. Making a strategy is like a desire, right? It's a plan that you have made. You have to implement it, and you have to implement it with all the type of determination that you have. Get it?
So, okay, sir. Sir, my question is any special strategies for interview process?
Okay. For interview, what exactly that you require for interview? What exactly? You require to show to the interviewer that you are a very good administrator, not a person who is having knowledge. You are a very good administrator, right? Now, I may be very knowledgeable, but my administration is not good. Possible? Is it possible? You agree? Now, administration means that you have to combine a lot of things. Administration means you have to talk to a lot of people. Administration means you have to take a lot of people along with you. Administration means a lot of things that an academician cannot go to do. A person who writes a book, can he go to do administration? Yes and no, both of them. So, the purpose of interviewer is to know whether you are a fit candidate for administration or not. That's number one. Right? Second is, in interview you have to speak, not to listen. And you speak sensibly. Right? Now, we picked up the first question that we picked up and we were not able to take it forward. Take an example. I'm taking example that because we cannot take a lot of examples. What is your opinion with respect to Prime Minister Modi? I cannot want to ask your opinion about film star because that is not relevant, right? What is your opinion with respect to Prime Minister Modi?
Sir, it's not a simple thing to administrate.
Make it simple. No, make it simple. It's simple. It's very simple. Make it simple. It is actually simple. What is your opinion with respect to Prime Minister Modi? I'm going to balance it out for you. Whatever you say, whatever your heart says, say that part only. Whatever you know, whatever that you can defend, say that.
Sir, it's sir, please listen, sir.
Sorry?
Please listen, sir.
Yes, I'm going to listen.
Okay, sir. It's not a simple strategies to administrate the whole nation, sir. So it's.
I'm only speaking.
Yes, sir.
It's very simple. Make it a one-line answer. Give a one-line answer. What is your opinion with respect to Prime Minister Modi? Make it one line only.
It's a good leader.
Good leader. Okay, that's right. Good person.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Don't know. You don't know him as a person, right? Don't know him as a person. But anyone, that's largely because you are able to differentiate this part. You are balancing him. You know him as a person? No. You know me as a person? Answer is no. Right? Am I a good academician? Yes. Am I a good person? You don't know. Right? Am I a good orator? I don't know. You know it better. Right? These are different aspects. Number one. Now, is he a politician or is he a statesman? Is he a politician or is he a statesman?